This is History and Leisure. Bi-weekly content on theme park and transportation. Your suggestions always welcome. Subscribe to the Substack for articles in the podcast, History and Leisure Storytellers, and the usual podcast and History and Leisure Extras, where you have copyright-free footage and bonus material. The Legoland chain has a unique twist in it. There used to be a park in the north of Germany that failed after only 2 years of operation. Legoland Zirksdorf. However, today, we know it by another name. Hansa-Park. The park still has a train that opened in its Legoland era, obviously dethemed. Hourly service in the off-peak direction, third in the peak on weekdays by the RB85, which trains the next town over and runs all the way to Lubeck. It is signed on Apple Maps that Danish Railways also runs service on this line, but nothing is shown to be scheduled at the moment. The front-built fixed link will fix this, but that will not only be the end of the... But that's the end of the decade for Lucky. Also, none of these urban places have metro or light rail, so the category is deleted or integrated into a general rail grade. The building has unfortunately been bypassed by the Danish railroads. This is mainly made up with buses to Kolding and Vejle, as well as daily fixed bus route from Copenhagen. There are a total of 6 local routes, although 3 only towards Grinstad. Most of the routes go straight to the airport, which is basically across the street, so if you're fortunate to have an airport with flights there, you could do a short car-free break here. Next in chronology also shares an airlink with Legoland Windsor. 7 miles west of Heathrow, the 703 connects Heathrow T5 and Bracknell with the Windsor Union Station. The T5 local and national coast run to London Victoria as well as T5. Sure, now that we want to find coaster in the chain, but I would still give this park a miss on a UK trip despite this. Legoland, California is closest to Carlsbad Poinsett on San Diego's Coaster Commuter Rail Line, which is about halfway between Oceanside and Solana Beach, which are the nearby stops for the Pacific Surfliner. It does have the 444, 445 to the station, and I guess the treasure of the coaster isn't that bad. Just right between Solana Beach and San Jose in danger of being consumed by the ocean. Legoland Deutschland, which is located between the major cities of Ulm and Augsburg. Kleinkolz is closer than the Günzburg main station, where the park is said to actually be in. It has no bus connection to this station. I'll give it 3 points since there is ice service to Munich, which is the closest major city. No wonder Holiday Village keeps sprawling. Legoland California might have more quantity from its one Amtrak route than the coaster. Legoland Florida in Winter Haven has service from both Silver services, but the Star deviating to Tampa before or after serving Winter Haven depending on direction. However, this is not the bus terminal. Instead, that's close to City Hall. Unfortunately, that means no buses serve the Amtrak station. But this is Florida, so it's not surprising. Next is Malaysia. It can take the minimum of 3.5 hours to go from Singapore Changi to the park, with the T44 connecting to Johor Bahru, along with 3 other more localist routes. Johor doesn't have commuter rail, although I did do a proposal with higher speed rail extensions to Changi and Orchard, or Gim Mall like in the old days. Dubai Parks and Resorts, where Legoland Dubai eventually add up, currently has no connection to Dubai Metro, but they do want to extend this Dubai Exchange branch to the border with Abu Dhabi. Since this segment now operates as like a shuttle, they should disconnect from the red line to connect it to IMG Worlds and the Red and Green Line terminals by the airport. More on what Dubai should do versus what's actually there. For now, they have the DPR-1 bus. Legoland Japan proves the dead opposite with a commuter rail line pre-existing at its terminus that was originally meant for freight use. It feels like an old American trolley park in the way how the Onami line terminates there like at Kinjufuto. Well, it has local and non-stop service, so I give it 3 points for this option that could really benefit park guests to the resort. Japan isn't really known for their buses, but there is a ferry dock a kilometer to the north. However, this is still Dockland, so you shouldn't wander in that area. Legoland, New York is within the loop formed by Metro North's Port Jervis line. Slight goes to Middletown, but a bus from Harlem would probably get there sooner than going all the way around. Apparently, said bus does not exist. This tourist and off-peak travel shortcut along US 6 could prove fruitful if Stewart Airport takes off and gets a branch. But that means suffering at Stewart Airport gets more than the 13 weekday and 7 weekend round trips. 99, it's like weekends there. Okay, up to date now. Legoland Korea. Kind of like Japan, it's built at a terminal station. The line functions more like major lines in Japan with the local and the ITX Limited Express, which is the only of this style in the country. The ITX allows travelers to go between Chungcheong and Seoul in an hour. From the terminal, there is a bus to the park on the island. Just not as seamless as I would have hoped, as the road continuing to the park goes under the station, but there's no connection to the underpass. Huge missed opportunity that I'm sure would have closed the 10's margin by 90%. with the China parks, it's difficult to see about more updated maps for those systems. Like, Beijing does have 2 lines connecting to it, so they will probably get those metro stations day one or within a few weeks of opening. Chengdu, I think, has definitely one of the fastest growing with their metro system, so I'm definitely not have any doubts with the Sichuan Park there. But the buses connecting those Windsor and Billund to their parks, that's very cool to me, and definitely boosts their score. Japan and Korea really thrive off a very unique aspect that's really more so about Japan, where metro lines are turned into S-Bahn lines at a certain point. And I know Reese Martin had kind of went back with that idea for turning MARTA into something like that. And having both local and express on that line, it's really considered a metro line. But Chongqing is on, even though completely different cities. Seoul and Chongqing. Chongqing is a capital in its own right. Dubai, New York, both of these are held back from what already exists. Like, there's better connections that can be made. Like, sure, Dubai is built on oil and is obviously very car-brained. Maybe I could see as a turning point if it's extended to that border with Abu Dhabi. I'm try to get regional service on that CSX line, and would split at Winter Haven, with one branch serving Lakeland and Tampa, the other one continuing up through the Orlando Metro. It's probably a jab at trying to compete with Brightline, but I think once that Sunshine Corridor and the connection to their own station in Tampa is made, it'll still be faster to take the East Coast main line. Besides, there's already shuttle buses from the Orlando Eye to access Legoland and Busch Gardens. Odd hours, and so you can't get the most of a full day if you use that, but it's nice that exists. And also, excluding Sea Life Centers, Florida is the only one that has 3 gates: theme park, water park, and Peppa Pig. Yes, both Legoland, Germany, and its town of Gunsburg, and Orange County, New York, they need to rework their bus system just to make sure that their resorts are integrated, because it's not, it's like, might be a weird with the hours, but I thought that the Port Jervis line was pretty decent, especially if that Stewart Airport branch really goes in. If I no longer go to Legoland Park, Hansa-Park could probably be the one that sees the most change. Just in general, that front built fixed link will provide faster between Germany, Copenhagen, and Sweden. 2029 is only 5 years away, if you can believe it, and that part has already gone through a phase of investment that will surely be kicked into overdrive. Sure, the park already has the top 2 with their 2 Gerstlauers, but if they could get another major coaster, maybe not topping Kärnan, but definitely a good 1-2 punch with it, I think this park will be set once the link is open and they can get a lot more tourists in. If nothing else, if you've made it this far, just think on this. The Lego Group's history and theme park history would be the same had Legoland Circus had been hit or never built. The fact it was a blunder almost made Legoland building the only one. It just shows that something, no matter significance, will have a ripple effect for eternity. Comment, subscribe, share the bell, good night, and good luck.